What is the lowest body fat that we can sustain and still feel great? In today's video, I'm going on a journey from looking like this to looking like this. And I've helped athletes who have been a part of my transformation challenge or who have been a part of my coaching who have gone from looking like this to looking like this. And so the question has often been asked, what is the lowest body fat we can maintain and feel great? Well, let's talk. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. And over the last couple months, I've been focusing on bringing my body fat down to levels where I could potentially see myself as being too lean. What is too lean? For me, that's when body fat starts to negatively impact your life, meaning your body fat is so low, you start to have issues with energy, focus, motivation, maybe performance in the gym, maybe sexual performance, maybe some other issues related to kind of sleep and just overall quality of life. And I think the question to address is, why would anyone get this lean? Well, it's actually a part of quite a people's lifestyles when it comes to competing, both in physique sports, but also in some other non-traditional sports, things like CrossFit and High Rocks, where body weight compared to performance is highly related. So let's talk about some of the research. The evidence for the lowest sustainable body fat that I could find really shows to be around 10% body fat. Now, there is a bit of individual variability here, but what I find with most men is when you get them below 10% body fat, I find this to be myself as well, you really start to have to pay attention to some variables. So there is potential that we could get leaner than 10% and still feel great. There's also some evidence from people that are in elite sports like sprinting, where 6 to 8% body fat is maintainable. Now, when people say sprinting makes you look leaner, I used to really buy into that. What I soon started to realize was that people didn't get lean because they sprinted. They sprinted because they were lean. What do I mean by that? People that are really good at sprinting, like world-class sprinters, have a predetermined amount of type 2 muscle fibers. They are very explosive, okay? You cannot take anyone off the street, train them like an elite athlete, and turn them into an Olympic sprinter. However, if you take an Olympic sprinter and train them like an Olympic sprinter, they just become better and better at their job. So what these individuals are doing is carrying a lot of lean body mass. They carry a lot of muscle compared to their frame. And this is why when you see like sprinters on TV, you can see the separation in their muscles when they're running. They appear to be quite dramatically leaner than the average population. And sometimes people will correlate that to, oh, if I want to look like that, I need to do what they're doing. No, they look like that because of genetics. They've taken those genetics and pushed them to the next level. So is it possible to sustain 6 to 8% body fat year round? For them, sure. But why is that? This is because this is their lifestyle. This is their goal. They're working towards something that very few of us work towards. Now, I myself have reached to these 5 to 6 to 7% body fat ranges multiple times. And when I did, it was exactly for that reason. I wasn't getting ready to get into a sprinting competition against Usain Bolt, but I was prepared to get on a bodybuilding stage against other bodybuilders who had spent months, weeks, years, decades putting on muscle and then spent months dieting that body fat off to reveal that muscle, giving the physique just an insane look. Now, in the past when I've done this, there's been some suffering involved. And how do we get through those last couple weeks and months of suffering? Well, it comes down to the willpower that we know we're going to get on stage and be competitive. So we deal with hunger, we deal with, our moods, we deal with changes in hormones, loss of performance in the gym, and honestly, like a lack of desire for like certain things like, sex and things like that. You can actually start to have a decreased libido, but that's something that we say, hey, we're going to focus on this for a short amount of time. And the good news is when you're done being that lean and you put the body fat back on, everything returns to normal. I'm still a lifetime natural athlete, and I've gone through this process so many times that I've tried to refine it, but I find myself asking the question, how lean can I personally get at 50 years old as a lifetime natural and still feel great? Now, today I'm actually going to get a Dexa scan in just a few hours here. And so I'm going to be real curious where my body fat is at, because over the last few weeks, I've noticed some days where my mood was a little bit off, my performance in the gym. I start to psychologically have some issues. I start to see body fat that isn't there. actually start to get where the leaner I get, I don't really start to see the positives in my physique. I see more of the negatives. And then there are some days where, I'll have some extra carbohydrates, I'll have a cheat meal, I'll have some freedom. And guess what? I start to feel like an Adonis again. And so when I get to this point, I realize I'm not myself all the time. There are days where I'm a little bit off and days where I feel fantastic. So I'm starting to wonder how much leaner I can get. So I'll be curious about my Dexa scan. So I'll put a link in the first description of this video to show you my Dexa scan from November, to show you where my body fat was there. And I can't wait to do the follow-up video where I compare the two and talk about these changes. So the best range for body fat, based on the research that I was able to look up, based on my experiences as a coach and coaching athletes, and also my experiences personally, is that based on the test that you're getting, that's going to determine where your body fat is, right? Because there is no like gold standard 100%, body fat test that everyone can agree on. There's multiple ways to do it. The reason I'm doing the Dexa is because I'm doing it at the same place and I'm doing it under the same conditions. And really, I'm not so worried about what my body fat percentage is. That really has no bearing on it. For me, it's about a look. When you get on a stage to compete in a bodybuilding show, no one asks you what your body fat percentage is. So for me, I just like something that's going to be consistently able to tell me if I've made some changes. But based on the Dexa scan, based on the bod pod, based on the skin caliper test, based on multiple tests that I've done, they all kind of fall within a 1 or 2% range, and they can vary just based on the day of how you ate, how you trained, things like that. So keeping those variables the same is very important. If you get a body composition test done when you're fully carbed up, and then you do a body composition test when you're fully depleted, it's going to show some varying differences because fat-free mass and lean mass are highly affected by, muscle fullness and things like this. So, let's talk about body fat percentage, where I think men are operating at their best. I think 12 to 15% are where most men are operating at their best, especially if you're natural. If we're talking about really good hormone production, really good insulin sensitivity, and by insulin sensitivity, I mean the ability for you to eat food and absorb it the right way so that you're using it and storing it in your muscles, not storing it as fat. Insulin resistance would be the problem. And I find when body fat gets higher, over 15%, 20% for men, we start to have some insulin resistance. We start to eat meals and feel tired. But if you stay in that 12 to 15% range, you're going to look good with your shirt off. You're going to have great performance in the gym. And as long as you are taking care of your nutrition and training, you're going to be able to put on some muscle. Where is the most aesthetically pleasing look for men? I would say that's in the 8 to 12% range. When you get to that 10% mark, and we're talking about that, that's when you're going to start to have some nice visibility in the abdominal region. The lower back fat's going to start to disappear. You'll get some good separation in some muscles that you don't typically see. You might get some feathering in the shoulders and in the biceps. And, even for me right now, the quads and hamstrings are starting to look pretty dang lean. And I think I'm somewhere in that sweet spot, 8 to 12%. So where do we run into problems? Somewhere between the 4 to 8% range. And it's debatable how lean you can get. Research shows 2 to 5% is about as low as we can get. These are debatable numbers, but let's just say 5 to 8% is as low as we can reasonably get. When we start to get closer to these numbers, 8% and below, things that become very important are things like meal composition, meal timing, the quality of your foods, your macronutrients, your protein, carbs, and fats are going to play a huge role in your energy throughout the day. Your energy is going to dip and rise. Things like sleep, recovery, training intensity start to become paramount. So can you maintain 5 to 8% body fat and feel good? Yes. And I've done it for weeks and I've done it for months. But here's the thing. It has to be your focus. Your day has to be centered around, okay, I need to make sure I get my meals timed right. I need to make sure that my cardio and my training are timed right. I need to make sure that the exterior factors in my life, the stress, are minimized. And so what actually starts to happen for myself when I get to this low body fat, 5 to 8%, is that I become very robotic. My day becomes very predictable. I start to plan things ahead so there is no guesswork. I keep the stress low. And so I actually find, this might sound funny, that I become a better version of myself the leaner I get because I get more in tune with time management. I start to plan out the day that I'm going to do my work, my training, my cardio, so my day has less variables in it. Now, is this something that I want to do forever? Not usually, but at 50 years old, my life now is about things like my kids, my work, my clients, making videos for YouTube. So it's not so much that I have this huge social life where I'm going out drinking and I'm doing a lot of these things. No, as a dad and as a coach, I have a lot of responsibilities, and that's what makes me happy now. So you got to really figure this out. Could I have done this, maintained this look in my 20s? Absolutely not. First of all, there were other things that were more important to me. And so when it comes to what's the lowest body fat that's sustainable for you to feel good, a lot of it's just going to come down to what you're capable of putting in and what's important to you. I love this shit. This is something that I've been obsessed with since high school. If you haven't been someone that looked at people that had these amazing physiques, I remember, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Frank Zane and, Bob Paris and these amazing bodybuilders that I would see in the magazines. If that's not you and you didn't find yourself obsessed with that stuff, I totally get it. That was me. I've been obsessed with this. I've learned about this. I've competed. I've hired the best coaches in the world. I went back to the University of South Florida to study exercise science and understand physiology, anatomy, biology, kinesiology, so I could be the best version of myself and then parlay that into helping others down the road. If that's not you, I totally get it. But for someone to say that, oh, you can't be that lean and feel good and have a full life, that's not true. Just understand that that's probably their hobbies are more in line with being a fitness person. It's the same thing when someone says, well, it's crazy that someone works 100 hours a week and does this job. But if that falls in line with what gets you excited to wake up every day, understand that you can maintain a very lean physique and feel great if that's your priority. But if you want to stay under 10% body fat and still live a life where, sleep and alcohol and stress are going to be a normal thing, that's going to be a back and forth fight that I wouldn't suggest. If that's the case, certainly 12 to 15% will allow you the freedom to train well, do some cardio, track your macros, but have some freedom to have some days where you're up and down and not feel the effects. You're going to feel the effect of everything when you're closer to that 5 to 8% body fat. So you have to keep a tight grasp on what your daily routine is like. All right, guys, wish me luck for my Dexa scan today. I'm going to try to put that video out soon, maybe tomorrow. I also just did a full day of eating where I did 3,000 calories while I'm cutting. I'm going to put that video together for you guys. Let me know if you have any other content you'd like to see, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.